Hello, welcome to Game Tester Bootcamp. It isn't a beautiful day. Sun is shining, the breeze is blowing, and Starfield might decide to actually run properly on my freaking computer for once. I've been struggling really hard to make this video, and it's been like, this is like attempt number 5, so yeah, we're gonna go ahead and just, you know what? It's just gonna turn out how it's gonna turn out. I got an NVIDIA GPU on my computer, so Starfield doesn't play very nice with it for some reason. But I did find a few bugs, quite a few bugs, testing. Just playing the game, you find a few, but man, like if you actually put the screws to it and like do actual QA work to it, like it's not too bad, but yeah, there's definitely some bugs to be found. And I imagine with a game this freaking huge, there's going to be a massive amount of them, like a mountain of them. I will point out a few that I found in my first couple attempts. Most of them are pretty minor, but then, you know, whenever you're testing, most of your bugs are going to be really minor. The crash is going to be the zebra. Little art clipping bugs are going to be the horse. But yeah, the one I noticed right off the bat is like, you'll notice like a lot of the individual parts of this cage don't really move at the same like rate and amount as a lot of the other parts. Like the straps look okay, although it looks like they fixed it. Whenever I first played it, they were clipping a little slightly into the bar. But if you look at something like this little thing right here, it's kind of moving independently in a different way, but it's really bad for that light fixture over there. It looks like everything's moving, but the light fixture barely is. So it's a pretty minor bug, but it's something that just doesn't look quite right if you've got a really sharp discerning eye, I suppose. So yeah, if I were going to say that, I would just say, hey, you know, a lot of the parts on this cage don't move at the same amount and rate as the rest of the cage. So it's a bug.
Well, after this, we'll have enough jump fuel to bounce from one end of the settled systems to the next.
Hey, more minerals, more money.
And of course, my regular spiel is saying that just because I'm doing this video does not mean I am commenting on the quality of the game. It might be an amazing game, incredible game, no matter what the game is. All the respect to in the words of the developers, but you know, bugs exist in every game. So, oh, I like you too, Lynn.
One of these days, Hella, I am going to leave you behind.
Do it.
Promises, promises.
There actually wasn't too many bugs that I found in the cave section. There's a few, but I probably won't bore you with too many of them. One of them is kind of weird. I guess I'm not sure if I call it a bug or not, but if you were to die before the first checkpoint, it doesn't say game over, it doesn't do anything like that. It just shows you dying, and then boom, back to the freaking title screen. Like no nothing. Like no menu, no game over, no would you like to restart, nothing. It's just like bam, title screen. It's like really, really jarring. So I'll try and get past this part. There was a small bug with the excavator up there that I can show you guys. There's one kind of like, I guess weird, I'm not sure if I call it a bug. I'm sure they did it just to demonstrate, or you know, because somebody was, because they want the character here, I'll show you. The characters were probably invulnerable versus non-invulnerable. So like if I'm shooting a character that's vulnerable, obviously it hits, right? If I'm shooting a character that's invulnerable, it goes straight through them. I would argue that like I would bug it, but it's more than likely just something that we mark chippable. But it does look really kind of awkward. So I would probably have the lasers still collide, but you know, not do damage. But I don't know their system. I don't know the creation engine, so yeah, he's up. Looks like a little clippy, but not too bad. Alright, here's a good example. Like, it looks kind of awkward for it to collide on one, but not the other. It's a little strange. I'm going to kill him through her. It's kind of weird. Huh. Yeah, I'd call that a bug. So if you're shooting and then melee, it puts the laser to the left. I'm not sure if you can see it or not. I'll try and... Yeah, so basically pull the trigger, melee, and the laser like is magically to the left for just a second. So yeah, I would say, you know, whenever you're shooting the mining laser continuously and then melee, that's a pretty easy bug. It's literally not even moving her hands. I'm sure it's just because they didn't want to animate all that. That would be probably a pain in the butt, but still. Oh, just kind of disappeared. Still a ghost. Oh, anyway, yeah. So the bug here is pretty minor, but something, you know, you'd probably want to bring up anyway. It'd probably get marked chippable, but shooting these, like these teeth don't have weapon collision, so basically when you're shooting it, it kind of looks a little awkward when you're shooting into it, but again, super minor. I'd say 90% of your, I'd say 90% of your bugs are going to be super minor anyway. I mean, this is how the bug nature of these kinds of games are. Like your crash is going to be really rare. Your minor ones really common. I'll try not to bore you guys too much with like the boring gameplay start. You know, not boring, but you know, the less than fun to actually watch be done. Probably shouldn't be able to do that with my, Don't worry, I'm going to keep it to the opening hours. I'm not sure if I said that in this particular version of the friggin' recording or not. Alright, I would bug that, Alright, so the bug here is, I would say that if you can hear the clicking, I know you probably can't hear it because it's like really quiet. But basically, you can toggle the flashlight on and off during this scene, even though, you know, you're probably not even wearing a helmet at this point. Alright, I'll just try and get through this quickly. There's a bald guy you picked last time. Which perfect. You know what? That guy looks like Amos. I'm going to go with Amos.
Anything that happened?
I probably mentioned that when she's holding that, just some clipping. Not a big deal, but...
Huh. Well, you passed out, that's for sure. Everything else, probably just...
It's actually not too bad. It is clipping a little bit, but, you know, like I say, QA doesn't get to make a decision on whether something's bug-worthy or not. If it's a bug, it's a bug. Ah!
Sure don't look like much.
Kind of lame you can't zoom
Never
out.
mind what it looks like. It's worth
Like to be able to see both. There we go. So I did run into some odd bug with this part before. Basically, so I don't have my helmet on, right? If you... There's two bugs I'm going to show. They're kind of rapid succession. So I will equip my helmet real quick before it tells me to. I haven't spent a ton of time in the game. There we go. So it's equipped, right? Now, what's weird is they have an animation to put on their helmets, but whenever they get into this little chamber...
You're just too young to know better.
Yeah, the bug is whenever you have your helmet equipped before they tell you to equip it during this segment of this mission, their helmets will just kind of like instantly pop on. You'll see it here in a second.
Same with Constellation.
Yeah, but come on.
Which is odd because they do have an animation to put on their helmets, so...
Does that anymore? If the space we've already got complicated enough.
Why does everybody say that? I think I would say that's a bug too, because every time I play this game and you get up, it's like, oh, you don't look good, you look sick. I'm like, okay. Alright, so the other bug here, so you're going to see the helmets pop, but after that, whenever she hits the button to open the door actually doesn't, it's not like a real door, it doesn't have collision. Like, so right now it's just a plane of collision, but after she pushes the button, you can walk straight through the door. Like, there's no, like, you don't have to wait for it to get out of the way, I guess. Right. Oh, they fixed it! With the, I guess they patched it. Alright, well, there was a bug where you could run right through there before. I haven't played since they put in the patch. That's funny. There's one weird bug that I ran into here too, and hopefully I can reproduce it. It'll take a minute to reproduce, but if I know the bug properly, but I don't know exactly. I'd have to test it over and over and over again to know exactly what's going on. But and also, I'm not going to test it, show it here, because, I mean, it'd probably be annoying. Actually, you know what? I can't show that. Hang on, let's go ahead. No, I won't. When it's landing, you can, like, run up here and, like, run directly under the jets as it's landing, and it will just not damage you. You'll be standing right in the fire. I feel like it should probably damage you. So basically, those of you who know how the game works, basically when he gets done talking to you, they will have a bunch of pirates come down for combat. I just ran immediately. I didn't even try to fight them. But if it's working the way I think it's going to work, like I don't need to run. If the bug is, if I can get it to happen again, I'll show you then. But yeah, I shouldn't need to run far away to get it to happen.
Right here. The new guy.
I've not played it in third person much. I'm sure there's lots and lots and lots of bugs for due to being in third person, but I have not tested those out yet. Thank you, medicine. I don't like how the... Oh, there we go. So the camera seems to come in close and stay there a lot of times. Okay. Sorry. So here comes the pirates. If the bug happens again the way it happened before, basically I can let the miners be killed. And when the miners are killed, they stay ragdolled on the ground as if they're dead. But then you can just run up to them and talk to them still, and they'll still converse and everything. So I'm just going to chill over here. And, yeah. You may want to speed up the video a little bit, because it takes a while. But, you know, bug's a bug. You know, like, if it takes a minute, whatever. And, I know a lot of times people will say, hey, that, you know, it's a really minor bug, or this bug happens in this one really specific instance. Yeah, you know what, that might be the case, but it could be indicative of a problem that can happen elsewhere, and be a lot worse when it does happen. So just because something is seems like a minor bug here, it doesn't mean that it won't be a bigger deal elsewhere. I'd bug this. There's a little bit too big of a gap there. I'm sure for performance reasons they just didn't put you know, full collision there. Also, I'm sure you guys noticed. The bug here is, you know, obviously pretty obvious that there's some, you know, rocks clipping into this side of the landing pad. And I'm sure that there's more places than that. Yeah, just sort of all along this edge, it looks like there's little bits where it's clipping. No, that's just a shadow. Alright. Like I'm doing QA while I'm waiting for them to die over there. And actually, they will end up killing the enemies on their own. Don't really need to do anything. Because a lot of the NPCs that they're fighting are invulnerable. Oh, he's not the jump button. No. This looks a little awkward, but, you know. Yeah, that's a little clippy there, too. Clipping a little bit too much. But, I mean, I won't, like, try to reload and, you know, reproduce bugs too much, because I honestly, unless I'm told otherwise, I honestly still definitely believe that, watching someone do QA is probably not the most entertaining thing in the world. Pretty boring, to be honest. Yeah, there's a lot of clipping stuff around here. They really should clean this up. I mean, I guess you could make the argument that that's like dust and not rock, but it looks pretty rock to me. You know, like it would be pretty solid. Let's see if this is minor. Alright. Oh, they actually killed him this time. Alright, maybe I do need to be really far away, because what happened last time is basically when the moment the combat started, I ran like really, really, really far away. I just started exploring the planet on foot. And whenever I came back, everybody was dead. Like, you know, the miners, the enemies, all that stuff. So when I came back, like, the miners were literally having like voice lines and everything like that, acting like just regular alive NPCs, even though they were dead. And I could loot them and everything. So I wonder what their criteria for like being able to get under things would be, because I mean that looks pretty big enough for me to get under, but then a little bit further in, it looks like it would be too short. I don't know. I say a lot of QA is basically just being the most nitpicky little shit you can possibly be. And trust me, it's turned me into a nitpicky little turd. Golly, I may just have to finish this fight anyway. They are taking forever. It didn't take this long last time. I just ran and ran and ran. I don't think I can fast travel yet either. So if I ran really far away, I'd have to run all the way back. Which I'm sure would be thrilling for all of you. Bro, how are you not dead yet? What the heck? Oh. Well, they're working. Now see, it could be one or the other. It could be that they fixed the problem, that they knew it was a bug and they fixed it, or I really need to really do need to go like super far away and then come back. See, if I were doing actual QA for this game, I would probably, you know, do the work, go back and do all that. You know, I do kind of want to try and reproduce the whatchamacallit, the helmet problem though. Was that the one I just did? Yeah, that's the one I just had. Sorry, I know it's going to be very boring for you to watch this, but you know what? You want to see me do QA, this is how it's done.
Of the devil.
I'm not a devil. Oh, they didn't fix it. Alright, I went straight through it. I wonder, maybe it's on a reload. That's probably what it is. First time, works fine. Reload, not so much. And it looks like they did fix the, helmet problem, or I just haven't properly reproduced it, which is very possible. Yeah, I actually think I might try the running and then reproducing that bug. Yeah, don't worry, I'll cut me running way out there and then running way back. You guys shouldn't have to watch that unless I find something interesting while I'm out here. Of course, I don't even know if they actually have patched. I haven't looked it up or anything. I'm just assuming they patched. A little floaty for my taste, but whatevs. It's still attached. And that's something I do get asked from some QA people is, hey, this thing seems super duper minor. Should I really post it? You know, you do have to make your own judgment call on some of those things, like that one back there. Yeah, I don't know. I probably wouldn't bug that one just because it's attached, but I do see how it looks kind of awkward. So, like, if some, you know, that's the level of like, hey, if you really want to bug that, you know, obviously do it. Now, I will warn you, and once you start bugging things that are sort of that minor, like sort of that, you know, I guess fringe case, it can piss off some devs. Like, some developers will be irritated. They'll sort of have a very big attitude of like, really, this is what you're bugging. And, you know, and I get that. Like, but the good developers will realize that, hey, you know what, this is their job. They have to do this. This is what they're paid to do. To be nitpicky as heck. Yeah, but so yeah, the good, you know, developers will be like, hey, you know, I get it. That doesn't mean they won't be irritated. That doesn't mean it won't get marked shippable. And it doesn't mean sometimes you'll get a little, you know, nudge from your lead saying, hey, you know, just don't worry about that level of stuff anymore, and that's fine. That happens. Kind of gotta be able to test where the whatchamacallit is. Gotta find out where that sort of line is that they don't want people, they don't really care about anymore. Because I mean, if you needed developers to fix every little itty bitty thing like that, the game would never come out. Like, it would just it never. Like I say, every game has bugs, and if you're gonna be determined and, you know, committed to fixing every single one that's even that level, you've probably got another problem. You've got a bigger problem. So there does need to be sort of a threshold of, all right, yeah, we're not fixing that, and that's understandable. There needs to be a balance, and yeah, that balance needs to be on the side of quality usually. But yeah, you do need to draw the line somewhere and say, no, we're not fixing that. Probably a good example of the kind of thing you probably wouldn't fix. I mean, yeah, it is a bug. Look, it's floating. But like way out here in this vast expanse of desert, I would probably make it a point to tell testers, hey, within this range, like on these like sort of big expanses of nothing, let's raise our criteria for, or sort of our threshold for what we report. So little floaty rocks like that, I probably would not bug. in this instance. So I do frequently preach that QA doesn't get to decide what bugs get posted and which ones don't. That's probably a little bit, like, I try to preach that to new testers just so they don't get it in their heads that they shouldn't report things. But in actuality, once you've been doing this for a while, once you become, you know, sort of very seasoned at it, you do need to be able to make that call of like, all right, we shouldn't post that. Yeah. So like, I would say it's just like a guideline for new testers, but when it comes down to it, whenever, you know, you really start getting seasoned and know what you're doing and like what's worth fixing and what's not, you know, work with producers, say, hey, do you really want this? And, you know, I would say 99% chance they're going to say, no, please don't waste everybody's time by posting that. So yeah. Good Lord. They're still not done over there, huh? Is there a way to wait? No? My legs running through all that as I'm running across it. Yeah, that doesn't look great. I say third person's probably got some jankiness to it, I'm sure. I mean, it's pretty good from going from, you know, strictly first person stuff to third person. This doesn't look too bad. I mean, yeah, the feet and legs clip a lot, and I would bug that, but it seems to only be when running up and down inclines, which, you know, is to be expected, but it's pretty heavy clipping. Oh, yeah, that doesn't look like it has collision at all. Yeah, I would bug that. That's a little bit too much. A little bit too much past my personal threshold of what's bug-worthy or not. My threshold is very low. Like, I bug almost everything. I was doing QA on a game called Absolute Tactics a while back, and I literally bugged. There was a character art. One of the character, I guess it was like one frame of a character's artwork had a missing pixel in its hand, and I'm not even joking. It was like this. It was a pixel. Like, I know pixels, you know, different depending on like resolution and all that stuff like that, but like it was literally just one itty bitty tiny little block that was missing out of his hand, and I was like, yeah, you know what, that's noticeable. So here you go. And sure enough, they actually fixed it, which is hilarious. I really expected it to get marked shippable like immediately, but nope. Absolute Tactics, they had a really high quality, or really high bar for their quality. They wanted to, I mean, if you want to talk about like the game itself, whatever, like I find it enjoyable, albeit a bit simple. But yeah, it's they did a really good job of fixing all the bugs they possibly could. They worked really hard on that, and got a lot of respect for Jason over there. He did good work. As the games is, yeah, they have Y as jump, which I'm not a huge fan of. I'd rather it be A. But you can't make it like, you can't bind both, well, you can bind jump and like confirm interact as the same button, but you can't make it like contextual. Like, you can't say, all right, if I'm not looking at something that requires the A button to activate, then it should jump. You know, just like do that really quick check. Must be something in their engine that won't allow for that. I mean, because like if I pushed A out here, I would like it to jump. But if I'm like mousing over somebody or cursing, you know, aiming at someone, you know, and push A, I'd like it to talk. But for some reason, it won't let you. It doesn't have that like contextual property to it. I can't tell if it's just really, really quiet. I don't think there's any footfalls for this surface. Sprinting, yes. Walking, it's I can't tell if there. I don't think there is. So yeah, I would bug that there's no. The bug here being that there's no football sound effects whenever you're running across this surface. You know, obviously get the location. If you've got debug tools, try and get the name of the texture. The material. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's something that I guess I don't think I've ever covered on here or not. I'm not sure if I have or not. Oh yeah, I've covered the difference between texture and material. Yeah. But I guess I can again. So texture is basically just the visual side of it. So like say like at the grainy look, the sand look, stuff like that, that's texture. Material actually is the texture coupled with all the other like behavioral stuff. So like you know, the sound that footfall should make whenever you're running across it, the kind of, you know, decals that should leave whenever it's been hit with a blast, or, you know, things like that. How projectile should react to it, whether it should hurt the player or not, whether it should like slow the player or not, that kind of thing. So yeah, like texture is basically just the visual, like what it looks like, while material is a lot of that information sort of wrapped up into a single, informational package. Just like in the Gat Out of Hell video I was talking about a while back, like that's the same thing with meshes. Like static mesh is basically just like the visual side of this thing, like it's just what it looks like. But if you're looking for the actual, sorry, the models, yeah, sorry, the model. Different engines, tend to use different terms, but yeah. But so like, say this would be like in Unreal, this would probably be just a static mesh, or you could say some object like this would be a blueprint probably in Unreal. It would not just be the physical thing, but it would be the collision. It would be the all the code behind being able to harvest it, where everything is, what it does after it's harvested, all the behavioral stuff, the sound, all that stuff. So goes a lot more into this stuff than you'd think there would be. Like, game development's hard, man, hard and complicated. Yeah, I'd probably bug that. Oh, how do I get inside? How do I get inside? Back inside. Burn. Oh, it won't let me go back inside. That's another thing to try. Yeah, I kind of want to do that. I want to see if I can trigger the pirate ship coming down and then like trying to get in here as fast as I can. That would actually be a soft crash if I was managed to do that, because then I wouldn't be able to kill the pirates. Oh boy, how are you guys still running around? Oh, I kind of wondered... that's probably not it. I'm thinking that, like, whenever I ran into this problem before of the miners sort of, like, being dead but also alive, like, still talking and reacting as if I'm, as if they're alive whenever they're laying down on the ground, I kind of wonder if it has anything to do with the fact that, like, I downed them whenever I was in the mine. Like, I sort of, quote, killed a bunch of them whenever I was in the mine, because they get right back up. Probably not. They're probably not the same actors. They're probably not the same objects. So it's probably not, but, this is kind of... You gotta be creative in your thinking. Like, you're trying to figure out exactly how things work. I don't know. I'm not gonna comment on the design of the game too much, but it is kind of, I don't know, disappointing, I guess, that they haven't reinvented more. It basically just looks and acts and feels like Fallout in space. Like, I don't know, Bethesda for so long was known for just sort of almost reinventing the genre almost every other time, title. But yeah, this just feels like, hey, we use the exact same system, exact same, thing, and just put it in space. Which I'm sure there's a lot more to it than that. Like, that's probably a gross oversimplification. Talk to me, miners. She's just sleeping. I'm waking her up. Wake up. She didn't wake up. But, yeah. Here, I'm actually going to try that one last time. What was it? I think it was this one. And I promise I won't make you sit through all that again. Oh god, why is that so fucking loud? Jesus.
Client is here. Let's go.
Push the button. Whee! Yeah, definitely need to. They should probably fix that. I think it's once dude talks to you, then they'll be able to. Yeah, it's a little. I'd probably bug this too. It's a little funky. I find it a little odd that the laser leaves behind like bullet hole decals. I'm like, I don't know. That just looks dumb. I would probably bug that, but it's one of those things. I'm sure it just is what it is, and they won't be able to do much about it. Whoa, hey there, buddy. Just kind of just dissolved in from nowhere.
Been a long time.
Is that right, Cal?
Look, just hand over the credits.
Bang, bang. Yay, the door's still open. Yeah, I made it in. Hopefully that means... Yeah, there they go. Alright. Oh, it won't let me back in there. Oh, no duh, because it's an airlock. Derp. Oh, so I wouldn't be soft crashed in here, because there's a button to open and close it. So never mind. That test was,
Supervisor's log supplemental. I told Hella everything he needs to know, which is pretty much everything I know. And this is another...
Oh, I can straight up leave the friggin' place. That's cool. Alright, I'm sure that won't cause any problems at all. We'll have to see what happens. Oh, this place is completely empty now. Okay, so you can still come in here and mine everything, I guess. Why does it move you whenever it... Yeah, I don't like that. Like, whenever you're actually... I would probably bug it. It's really weird. It's like a very odd thing. Yeah, like whenever you actually knock one of these loose, it like moves you. Like as like it exploded. Yeah, that's weird. It like pushes you. Huh. Yeah, it doesn't feel great. It feels like you're kind of being damaged by something or something. I don't know. I don't like it. Most of it, I don't like it. Okay. Well, hopefully that didn't break any, or hopefully it did break something. You know, the whole point. Actually, with QA, it's really hard to find that juxtaposition. It's like, oh man, I just spent like 20 minutes trying to set up this test. I kind of hope it's fixed, or hope it's not broken. I hope it doesn't have a bug, because you know, like I've said, the value of a bug not found is actually probably more valuable than one finding one. But then it's also really hard for your supervisor to know, hey, were you actually testing today, or were you just, you know, putzing around? I say you kind of just have to err on the side of, you know, everybody's doing their job, everybody's doing their best, so don't be cynical. It's hard not to be sometimes, but especially whenever it's your whole friggin' job to find flaws. Okay, let's see what's going on up here, see if everybody's still fighting.
This attack better not be coming out of our pay.
What?
Believe the Crimson Fleet hit us.
Oh, hey, they apparently killed them. Alright. I feel like it was a lot faster.
If the suits start talking about shared liability.
And now it actually works. It's funny.
You in one piece? Good. Me? Really should have paid more attention during those emergency drills.
Oh, wasn't this supposed to leave? Yeah, this was supposed to leave. Huh, yeah, I would say this is a bug, because this ship is supposed to take off. But since I went inside before it took off, it kind of just, yeah, huh, interesting. He just never even got off the freaking ship. Oh, there's also some Z fighting here. I would bug that, definitely. Some pretty ugly Z fighting. I'd get the model of this ship. I would say, hey, the bug here is that whenever the bay door of this ship model is down, there's quite a bit of Z fighting along the edge right there. So I'm pretty sure that this was not supposed to happen. But I'm glad I got that legendary rifle out of it. I'll take it. Very interesting way they, or not interesting, but broken way they handled that.
What's wrong with you? Hey, watch it!
Okay. That works, I guess.
Careful!
Will they get up now? So basically, it looks like they're in this position,
Hey, watch it!
and if you, quote, kill them, they get up and then collapse. Yeah, huh, yeah, I'd bug that. It's a little awkward looking. And then they just kind of stand there. Oh, wait, he's moving. Oh, no way, they go back to that position. Alright. I don't know what you do. I'd probably just have them die, really.
I'd be sleeping with one eye to the atmosphere tonight. Careful! What's wrong with you?
They just get up and then fall down. Oh, what does this have a screen shake, too? That's kind of weird.
Hey, watch it! Careful!
Like, it'll be a screen shake when they play their animation. Huh, interesting. Wonder if they do the same thing with Melee.
Hey, watch it!
You watch it. Is she laying down again? I see I'm gonna test this on somebody, Melee.
What's wrong with you?
And fall down. Okay.
You did good there. Kept your head.
Well, when I ran.
Now that was some fine work under pressure.
Yeah, I dove into the mines.
The artifact, right? That means you saw it. The visions?
Just up the ramp, Captain. I'll be in the external robotics bay.
And where would that be, sir? I need to know, in case I get lonely later in the night.
It appears you are the new captain of the Frontier. Captain, Protocol Indigo is in effect.
Okay. Moving on. Actually, you know what? That's been over an hour, hasn't it? So,
You know how to fly a Class A starship. As Barrett likes to say, it's as easy as learning to ride a bike. I will attempt to boost the shields, just in case there are any difficulties. Shields ready. The rest is up to you.
alright, and we are officially off our first planet. So, I'm going to call that a good place to pause. Hopefully this video does not get immediately taken down like the last one I made. And, yeah, so, you know, that's it. Like, it's not that unstable. It's actually considerably more stable than I thought it was going to be, especially for a Bethesda game, so. Thank you much for joining me. If you have any questions or comments or anything like that, let me know. Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it. Take care.